Hey everyone, let's learn how to enter data into SPSS. To enter data into SPSS, you start with a blank SPSS window. That usually entails just double clicking on the icon itself when there's no data file open, and it will open a blank. Here we have data on 15 students, their sex, age, statistics, grades, and years complete BA. Note that there is, we rarely put words into SPSS. We use numbers almost always to stand for things. So, for example, male and female, you're going to use 1 to stand for male and 2 to stand for female. Age is continuous variable, so you do not need to do anything special for it. Statistics grade is ordinal, and so as an ordinal variable, we're going to use these numbers. A is a 4, B is a 3, 2 is a C, 1 is a D, 0 is an F. To stand for those letters, you'll see how that works. And then years to be complete is also continuous, so we don't need to do anything, just enter it right in. Do you note there are a couple blanks in here where people did not give their data values? And that just sort of happens in real life. So the first thing we have to do is open a blank file, which it tells you how to do here. We then have to set up the variables or define the variables before we can enter data. To do that, note there are 3 windows at the bottom of this SPSS screen: Overview, Data View, and Variable View. We need to click Variable View. Variable View is where you actually define variables in SPSS before you can actually enter data for them. And so what we're going to do is as follow. In the name column, we'll click in there and I will type the name of the first variable, sex. When I hit enter or click out of it, whatever, it sort of fills in all these other values for the variable, which we will be altering. The next variable we need is age. Next variable is statistics grade. And note there's no space. You can't have spaces in here. And then finally, years to complete BA. So I'll make that big so you can actually see them all. There's our 4 variables are started. All right, so in the type column, we have to define what type of variable each one is. The numeric works for numbers. Other common choices that we use are comma, for example, or dates. We don't happen to have any of those, so numeric across the board is fine. In terms of decimals, so the default width for a variable is 8. It doesn't hurt to define something as longer than it actually is most of the time, but the decimals will drive you crazy. So what I suggest you do is we are going to use 1s and 2s to stand for this. This is whole numbers. This is, I think, 1 through 4, or so 4 through 0 we'll use to stand for statistics grade. Years complete does have a decimal, so we want to allow 1 decimal for years to complete. So what I suggest you do is you set things up so that decimals, by clicking in here, is set to 0 for sex, 0 for age, 0 for statistics grade, and 1 for years complete BA. So the next column in here for each variable is the label, and this is where you can put a pretty name where you can actually have spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these longer, prettier names over here by double clicking into label and popping them in there. Student age, statistics grade, you can call them whatever you want, really. It makes your output a heck of a lot easier to read. And of course, I put statistics grade in the wrong place. Doing great today. And I put student age in the wrong place. Doing great today. And sex is student sex. Oh, it's because it's up here. That's why I missed it. So let me copy in, or you can type 2, of course. But I'm being extra lazy today, and I sure don't want to type years complete BA. All right, there is our labels are put in there, so we're up to this step. Now, for 2 of the variables, sex and age, recall that we're going to use numbers, or what we call a nominal coding scheme, to stand for the sexes, and we're going to use numbers to stand for the statistics grades. So to do that, and I tell you right here what numbers to use for things. That's what the values column is for. So to define values column, and you only use this when you're using numbers to stand for categories. You click in values, you click a little ellipsis thing here, and you hit plus to add one, and we need one to stand for male. So the way it works in SPSS is you say a value of one, then you click in label and you type male, and I'll hit plus, and that makes that one. Two stands for female. And I don't want to hit plus again because it'll add a third category. I'm just going to click OK. And now SPSS knows that one stands for male and two stands for female. Similarly, for statistics grade, we have to add a nominal coding for that too. So I click in here, click the ellipsis, and I'll start at the top. 4 is an A plus, 3 is a B, like a 3.0. A 2 is a C. A 1 is a D. And finally, 0 is F. Once I got them in there, 4 is an A, 3 is a B, 2 is a C, 1 is a D, 0 is an F. I click OK to get that defined. So what's coming up next? So got labels, got those. Now got our values set up. Now under missing is if you use numbers. Some people use numbers to stand for missing values rather than just dots or blanks. In our case, we are just going to use dots or blanks, so nothing to do with missing. Columns is where you can set the width of things. So I suggest I do it so that when you're in data view here, you can see the names, but see how these are all smushed. So we're going to make these longer so that they sort of stretch out. There's a difference between column width and variable width. This is how many characters can a variable have up to. This is how many display columns there are. So for the last two, I tell you use 15 and 20. So in columns, highlight that and do 15. For yours for BA, I will do 20 and click. Yeah, don't get mad at me. So then alignment would be, do you want to align on the left or the right? I'm not going to change that. Under measures, this is where you tell it the scale of measurement. So sex is a nominal variable. So under measure, I'm going to pick nominal. Now, student age is not nominal. Student age is interval/ratio, which SPSS calls scale. Statistics grade is ordinal, so I'll pick ordinal. And then years to complete BA is interval/ratio, so again, I'll pick scale. And then this last column is the role for it, and you can learn about roles some other day, but basically you can specify that a thing is only an output. It's something that you only split things by. We're just going to leave it at the default as input. And this is how you set up the variable. So we now have 4 variables set up. If I go down here and I click data view, we're actually in the screen where we can enter data itself. So there's sort of a long way and a short way to do this, but I will show you, well, let's give it a shot and see what happens. So this first person is a male, age 23, who got an A in statistics. It took 3.5 years to complete their BA. So one way to do this is click in here and type 1, because that stands for male, age of 23. Statistics grade is an A, which we used 4 to stand for that. You can also click this little thing to turn on value labels and or off value labels. You can see that will toggle between male and 1, whether it's on or off. If it's on, when you click in something that has nominal coding, you can actually just click in and scroll down to a thing. Now, if I delete that, and I hit delete on my keyboard, and I turn the labels off, it doesn't give you that list anymore. So you got to know that a 4 is an A. And when I turn the labels back on, you can see it changes that 4 to an A and a 1 to male. Years complete BA is 3.5. All right, that is person 1. Person 2 is a male, age 56, who got a C, took 5.5 years. So to save a little bit of time here, what I'm going to do is make sure my value labels are off. They're off. That's this little 1A thing. And I'm going to cheat a little and just copy all of these, right click, copy. And right here, I'm going to right click, paste, and it fills in at least those two columns completely. So the one missing, here's complete BA is missing. But it's a lot easier just to sort of go down and fill in the missing stuff than it is to type all 15 on their own. So this is a male, so it's a 1. Person 2 is also a 1. Person 3 is a 2. Person 4 is a 2, 2, 1, 2. Person 8 is blank. And then we're down to a male again, which is a 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. If I turn on the value labels, it's filled in those genders. For statistics grade, it's a little bit harder. So let's give it a shot. So what a C is a 2, 2, I think it is. Let me check that code on it. Did I put D in? Because I honestly don't remember. I sure did. D is 1. Okay. For 2, a B is a 3. Another B is a 3. And A is a 4, 4, 3, 3, 4. Female 45 didn't give her grade, so we skip her. Then we go to a 2, and then F is a 0, a D is a 1, C is a 2, a B is a 3. And if I turn the value labels on, just make sure it matches AC, BB, AA, BB, A, blank, CF, DCB. Looks like I got it. That is how you enter data into SPSS. So let's go down and find out where we left off. Define variables, key them in. Should look like this: male, 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 female, 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 male, female, blank, male, female, 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 male, female. Things are looking pretty good. So here's where I tell you about the turning value labels on and off button. This one A little red arrow thingy up here, and turn them on or off to see what those underlying values are. So now I tell you to check your work by running a quick frequency. So if you recall from last time, the introduction assignment, you go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies. And then I got you putting all variables in there, so you can do them one at a time like this, or hit reset. You can click on the first one, hold down Shift, click on the last one, it highlights them all, click them over. So analyze, click OK. You don't need to get any options, blah, blah, blah. Click OK, we'll get frequency distributions. And so you should always, when you enter data, check your data, because we all make mistakes when we're entering data into SPSS. So you can compare them. These are the frequencies that it should be: 14 with 1 missing, 15, 0 missing, 14, 1, 14, 1. Student age is, or let's see, student sex, 5, 9, 14, 1. Student age is over here, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Lots of ones down to 15. Student grade, 1 F, 1 D, 3 C's, 5 B's, 4 A's, 14 total, and 1 missing grade. And then years complete BA is 3.0 down here, 1, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 1, and 14, 1 missing, 15. Looks like we nailed it. So in this next step, I'm just sort of warning you, some people accidentally hit enter again, or hit something and go hit enter. They realize they shouldn't have entered this person. One way to get rid of them is you right click on their number and you hit clear. And now we're back down to 15 cases. And you can also accidentally enter a extra column over here, something like that. And how do you get rid of this extra column that you don't need? Click on the gray name of the variable and hit clear, and that gets you back to where you want to be. So now what we have to do is export our SPSS output in Word or PDF format. So let me go back to output. And remember to put your name on stuff. So I will slowly click in here, double click. Once you get the cursor, Princess Buttercup, Princess Buttercup. There we go. Click out. You got to make sure it's not highlighted, so you click out in the white space again. And then to export it, if you recall, you go to File and Export. And make sure you got Word doc or PDF, whichever one you choose. And then here on my desktop, I'm going to rename this one, instead of introduction output, data entry output. And when I click OK, it will export it to the output, which is the frequency distributions, to my desktop. So I click OK, it's saving it. And again, we can verify that it's out there in a sec. Save your SPSS output in native format. So I'm telling you to also save this output in SPSS's proprietary format. So I go to File and Save As on my desktop. Again, I'll call it SPSS data entry output. Doesn't write over my doc file because it's got a different extension, SPB. And then finally, save your SPSS data files. Okay, you got to get your data files. So sorry. So I will minimize this. Now we're at the data file screen. I'll go to File, Save As, back to my desktop, and I'll call it SPSS data entry data, something like that. All right. Before I exit SPSS, let's just verify that they're all here. There's the data entry data. There's the data entry output. That's the introduction. Oh, here is the SPSS data entry exported output. And let's just open that one and make sure it works, since that's the one we got to upload. And looking good. There's our exported output. So last step then is you need to upload the handout. This handout right here, make sure again to put your name on the first page, even though there aren't any questions to answer on this one. I want you to get in the habit of always uploading your data entry, or excuse me, your SPSS handout with your name on it, and also your exported output. So those will be the things that you upload. And other than that, that is this assignment. So good luck. Hopefully you got it right. If you have any questions, put them in the discussion forum.